Hello again everyone, we are once again back in line, and today will be set O, which is the first of the 5 rank point sets, or triangle sets. In this case, O appears to be a one-line set, so it shouldn't be too terribly difficult, so we'll just go ahead and blaze through this real quick, and be on our merry way. And that's the thing about one-line sets, is they're very straightforward from the standpoint of all you have to do is fill out the squares enough times. So I don't really see much of any challenge with these particular sets, to be honest, because they're just kind of... I mean, they basically are almost kind of like setup sets to where if you know what you're doing, then it kind of just sets yourself up for what you need in order to do all the different levels. I kind of almost use them as training sets, as it were, because you're basically playing in a situation where you're just working on mechanics of how the game works, how there's different things available for you to use, and just knowing the different kind of lines that you can use in order to fill out all the squares in the proper way. So I tend to use these particular one-line sets as just kind of practice of learning, knowing patterns and different things like that, because it's not too incredibly useful from the standpoint of playing the game otherwise, because it's very, very linear and straightforward in terms of what you have to do. It's one line, and you have to fill it all out, and that's pretty much the easiest thing you can possibly hope for in terms of this game. There's no additional variables from the standpoint of having to do different things, so it's very, very straightforward, and it's really, really simple to me. It could be very simple to you. I mean, it's just, I don't find any challenge with these particular, I don't find very much challenge with these particular levels, because it's just kind of the same thing over and over again, because you're really just doing lines and patterns that you should pretty much already know if you played the game enough. And you should have played the game enough. I mean, this is set O. You're already halfway through all the level sets. Or over halfway through all the level sets, rather. So, I mean, it's kind of just like a completionary thing. It's not really too difficult or too inspiring on a level set. But we'll still go through it because it's there. So this shouldn't take too long. We'll just be flying through real quick here. Not to bother timing it, because I mean, why bother? But expect this to only last about 6-7 minutes, I think. Here we go. What was I looking for? Oh, right. No. Oh, I'm trying to remember. I remember there being a specific pattern for this one right here, but I can't remember what the pattern was for that. Here we go, I think. Yeah. There we go. And honestly, I should have worked backwards in the other way, because that ended up being how I had to go with the line going through that particular one twice. But didn't do so. It took a little longer than I probably should have, but no worries. Still get through this. And be moving on to set P in the very near future. Alright, let's see here. tricky ones really here are mainly the 3 lines, because it is only one line and you have to go through that three different times. So that really provides the difficulty in these ones. But once you get used to the patterns of how you exactly have to approach that, it really doesn't become that difficult from a standpoint of it's very it's as soon as you learn the patterns to go through, and I'm not 100% on them myself from a standpoint of knowing them all, but it's something where once you get used to it, then these levels really are easy to apply through, because they're so basic in nature, because it is only one line. So you don't have to worry about all these crisscrossing factors of making sure one line can get through, or things like that. So you kind of, again, it goes back to something I covered before in one of my sets, where it's when you start taking away variables like that, you lower the difficulty level, because it becomes something where, because there's not something that is there's less involved in it, it's not quite as hard because you don't have to worry about as many things. So the difficulty level of these sets are going to be primarily from a technical standpoint, where you just have to kind of know your way around making sure the line goes through something multiple times, rather than managing which line goes where necessarily. Alright, so I'm missing one here. Let me do this one. Okay, so that's close, but not quite. So, yeah, the issue I'm running into here right now is making sure to get in all these additional lines enough times, which by itself could be very challenging. Because I'm actually less worried about this four spot octagon than I am all the additional stuff that's around it. Because this is actually providing me a little bit more of an issue than this one up here, so let's see here. I'm trying to remember from a technical aspect of how I have to go about this. The problem I'm running to is right here, these two, right here. Okay, so my first shot was actually closer. I've got to come into it. This is the thing, is I've got to come into it as a straight line from one particular way, and the problem is really going to be in using this particular square properly, it seems. Like, that's going to be the key. That might have to be the last one that comes through. Something like that. Let's see, where am I going? I gotta figure... it's a problem... with this, sometimes it's kind of hard to retrace your steps from a standpoint of knowing exactly where you've been, exactly what line you've played already. So that creates a problem within itself. Although I think I'm getting close. I think I'm getting close from a standpoint of figuring out exactly how I want to play this. So that by itself is very close. I just need to figure out where I'm missing that extra line. And I think that was it. Yep. So the key to, I mean, this is really, these single line sets are really very technically dependent in terms of knowing exactly where the line has to go through. Because it's a situation where you're less, again, you're less focused on necessarily the crisscrossing aspect, and then more looking into just knowing the technical patterns of how to make sure a line goes through certain areas. So that took a lot. That actually took longer than I expected. So hopefully these sets will provide more difficulty than I was originally expecting. Anyways, there is set O, and I will see you next time for set P. Otherwise, you guys have a good day.